Hello everyone. For my project, I'm going to be discussing the historical context of the Reedy Creek District. Recently, it's been in the news a lot between his battles with Governor Ron DeSantis and his cascade against woke culture and against Disney. So I'm going to include the motivations behind the creation of the district in the first place, as well as the special benefits they get for being a special district, and really the purpose of why they're set up. Then I'll give some context of why Ron DeSantis is attacking the district and trying to rename it and strip its rights, along with the fallout from it, the motivations and things like that. It really started out with Ron DeSantis's "Don't Say Gay" bill. So the political context of that ordeal will be discussed as well. The paper will focus also on the economic structure of the district, as I mentioned before. Everything about this district and battle can kind of seem confusing and hard to follow. There's lots of different news about it, fake news as some people would like to say. I'm hoping to simplify it and try and explain it a little bit better. In the mid 1960s, Disney proposed to build on a 10 to 15 acre property in Central Florida. In order to do this, they needed to kind of take care of it itself, because back in the 1960s, this part of Central Florida where Disney is now, it wasn't really developed. Sewer lines and utility lines were pretty far away from where the development took place. So in order to do this, the Florida State Legislature, back in 1967, working with Disney, created the Reedy Creek Improvement District. This is a special taxing district with the same kind of authority and setup as the county government. So they're separate from the state, but they also kind of operate as a county government. Under this legislation, citizens of Orange and Osceola counties did not have to fund the project. It was totally funded by Disney in the beginning. So in order to do this, the motivation for the Florida State Legislature to set this up was because it would bring jobs to the area, bring development, things like that. So part one, for the accountability and thrift part of the project, when the Florida State Legislature approved this project, it was trusting Walt Disney Corporation to be accountable to the public, along with responsible with all these economic incentives that I'm going to mention soon. When Governor Ron DeSantis approved dissolving the district in February of 2023, he mentioned these sort of similar sentiments in a press release, saying, "In the case of Reedy Creek, they're not accountable to anybody because a private corporation picks the board." You can see right away that Governor Ron DeSantis doesn't think they're accountable to the people of Florida. Speaking of Ron DeSantis, I'm going to discuss the political context next. This section where I'm going to talk about now, obviously, as I mentioned before, this really blew up with the "Don't Say Gay" bill, and Disney took a stand against it. The Disney CEO at the time, Bob Chapek, said he would donate $5 million to the Human Rights Campaign that was opposing the bill. 2 days later, Governor DeSantis published a statement saying that woke Disney is now echoing Democratic propaganda and falling for the corporate media's phony hysteria. Following some back and forth, DeSantis decided to rename the district the Central Florida Tourism Oversight Board. Given that history that was discussed, it's important to mention now why the governor wanted to do this. It kind of speaks to the modern politics of Republicans and kind of the Republican primary that's taking place currently. Ron DeSantis is obviously running for the Republican nomination for president. In doing so, he's running against the frontrunner, President Trump. And so he's trying to kind of appeal to the far-right voters that have a distrust of big corporations like Disney. You could see that recently when Buzz Lightyear, it turned out he was part of the LGBTQ community in the most recent movie, and Republicans really did not like this. They think that these big companies just virtue signal and they don't really mean it, things like that. Only time will tell if these battles. It seems like the governor's starting to move on from it now. Recently, he told CNBC that the battle with Disney is over, and he's been getting hit on it a lot, because if you think about it, he's killing jobs if he's going against Disney, because Disney is the main economic factor in Central Florida, as we all know. The economic context. So some of the benefits that Reedy Creek gets for being a special district, they get tax advantages, such as when they issue bonds, like we mentioned earlier in this class. Bonds are a great way to fund infrastructure and things like that. When they issue bonds, they don't have to pay taxes on that. So there's an example, a couple years ago, Disney wanted to build 2 new parking garages with an estimated cost of $80 million. So in order to do this, they could be funded through tax-exempt bonds, and the materials needed were purchased without a sales tax. So that is huge for Disney and the Reedy Creek District. That's what they get. That's one of the huge advantages they get. for doing that. So yeah, in conclusion, the Reedy Creek Improvement District has provided millions of dollars to the Central Florida region and has provided countless jobs to Florida residents over its 50-year history. It is currently undergoing a tumultuous time with the governor of Florida, and those battles are being fought in court right now. Currently, there are bills that are being filed to reinstate the district and give it back its original name, the Reedy Creek District. However, this will likely rage on until the governor's term limited, which is coming up this year, or the courts finally figure it out and take one side or the other. This whole fiasco kind of shows how accountability, politics, and economics are important, and how presidential ambitions can get in the way of effective governance. So yeah, that's some context and some history of the Reedy Creek District, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.